Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. How are we doing? I want to know. And if you don't want to tell me, totally fine, I guess. Keep your secrets. Maybe you're just not that chatty. It's the end of the week, I guess the beginning of a new week, but the end of the weekend. And that means work is tomorrow if you have a regular Monday to Friday, and that always blows. But I still want to know how you're doing. Hopefully, you had the most wonderful weekend. Tell me about it or don't. Who do we got? Hi, PSO Addict. Welcome in. Thank you for the check in. Hey, Soon Coon. Welcome in. Thank you for the check in. What is going on, y'all? And hello to anyone else that's here that maybe just hasn't made themselves known yet. Oh my gosh. Okay, when is the last time I was here? Was it Wednesday? Well, Thursday and Friday, nothing really happened. I went to work. You had a good weekend? That's awesome. I had a great weekend. I went to the beach, which was great. I had such a good time. What do you call it? And hello, Rusty. Welcome in. Hold on. Okay, the last time I was here was Wednesday. So Thursday and Friday, I didn't do anything except Friday after work. I got off work, got in my car, got in old Rubes, and drove out to a coastal town. Many hours, but it was great. Um, and then I got to practice on my longboard a little bit, which was cool, although it was a very slow trek. What do you call it? I had a slow trek, and then when I got to the bar, I ordered some street tacos, and it was delish. Then I went back to my room, just chilled for a little bit, went to a bar, enjoyed some of that. It's a little karaoke bar that I like to go to, but it was a little dead on Friday, but still, it was good. The vibes were great. Then Saturday morning, I woke up, got back in the deep, and went out to the beach. I took it through the loose sand, which was nice. So I was in a nice deserted area. So good. And I stayed out there. And then in the evening, I pretty much did the same thing. Went to a seafood restaurant, went back to that same bar, and just chilled. And then this morning, when I woke up, guys, I treated myself to a couple hours on the beach before I got back on the road. And that was really great too. The place that I went to was I guess it was on the way back to my town. So I was like, oh, I'll just go back out to that same. What the heck? My mic just stopped working for a second, like mid me talking. Anyways, so I went out into the middle of nowhere again this morning just for a couple hours, and that was really amazing. But I knew I had to make the smart decision and only spend a couple hours so I could start the long journey home, so I could be home to stream and clean up and all that good stuff. So here we are, guys. I made it home at a decent time, took a shower, got my stuff in the laundry, emptied my cooler, and have just been chilling, waiting for tonight because there are two finales happening tonight. Number one, we are finishing the final chapters for The Deepest Fake, which is exciting. We're on chapter 52 and we have, 52 to 60 to finish tonight. So it's pretty big. What do you call it? And we also have House of the Dragon season finale. Woohoo, woohoo. Super exciting. Looking forward to concluding these two series. We've been reading The Deepest Fake for many weeks now, so I'm excited to be here with you guys. If you've been here since the beginning, congrats. If you joined in the middle, that's awesome too. And I hope you enjoy the end of this. Hopefully it's a satisfying ending. And I guess the only other update that I have for you guys is still no update for me on work. So tomorrow starts me officially having to take my PTO because of their clerical errors. So that really sucks. I've been saving my PTO for my trips, but I guess I guess I don't get to use them at my leisure. I have to use them to cover their error. So that really, really sucks. I'm disappointed about that, but hopefully something comes through this week before I use the 6 days that I've saved up. It's crazy. It's crazy. You work 40 hours a week, right? 40 hours a week, and you get 2 hours of your life back every pay period or every paycheck. Just 2. That's crazy to me. That's disgusting. It should be days. You should get at least 1 day every pay period or every paycheck. I think it's kind of horse crap that's not the policy. You only earn your stuff back by hours, but whatever. All right, I digress. Let me get over onto the right screen. Also, Hearthstone, Toasty for Prez. Thank you, Rusty. If you know what, you're right. It would be better if I was. Just kidding. Toasty is reading The Deepest Fake by Daniel Kalla. So, guys, tell me, is the music too loud? Because I noticed in my last VOD, I felt like the music might have been a little loud. But let me know. If you guys think it's okay, then that's fine. But I swear to me, it's a little... I don't know. It just seems kind of loud. So after this week... I'm not sure, or after today, I'm not sure what the next book is that we're going to read. I have a couple books that I have been wanting to read that I was originally planning on taking to work, but things got in the way. So we probably are going to go back to romance if I had to take a guess before I get another psychological thriller, just because I prefer to read romance. Not that this hasn't been bad, so we'll still do both, but or we'll still go back to other types of books, but I think I'm going to go back to a romance book after this. All right, let's do a quick summary. For the past however many weeks, we have been reading The Deepest Fake by Daniel Kalla, right? It's about a man in his 40s named Liam who's married with kids, CEO of an AI company, discovers that he's actually been poisoned, and the reason is somebody messed up with his medical results to show that he has ALS, and he's been experiencing the symptoms of it. However, after some deep digging, they discovered no, it's not ALS. Someone's been messing with your stuff, right? Someone's been messing with your stuff. So he's like, holy crap. Well, later on we discover not only are they just messing with his medical records, somebody is actually poisoning him. And it's been happening slowly over time. And he's been trying to figure out who it was. In the middle of this, he thought maybe it was somebody from his company because there was some embezzlement happening. But it turned out, no, it was just somebody trying to repay their gambling debt. He also has suspected it could be his wife because his wife was having an affair. He hired a PI to go chase it down, and that PI and him are starting to kind of, fall in love a little bit. They're starting to fall in love, it seems like, or at least get some sexual tension. So that's cool. He thought it could be his arch nemesis, Rudy, because he stole some code from him, allegedly. Who knows? But it doesn't seem like it's Rudy either. The only reason he recently made a really big discovery that the poisoning was coming from his home office. He found a long black cylinder-looking tube inside of the vent, and the only reason he discovered it is because his son got a call, he got a call from his son's school saying, hey, he needs to come home, and his son's hands were shaking. And the son was like, I recently went in your office, da-da-da-da-da. So he now knows the poisoning is happening inside his home, and it's affected one of his children, potentially. So he has his children and his family, moving to a remote location along with Andrea. But he still doesn't know who exactly is poisoning him. You have a new guess? What's the new guess, Europe? And thank you for the check-in. I will read to you what everybody's guessing, because I wrote it down. Also, the app that he's getting ready to release is called Their Story, and it allows the AI people to come up with new phrases on their own. It's generative AI. So, they could think for themselves, and it's meant to be used, to reanimate somebody that you know. So, yeah. His buddy hired the contractor to seduce his wife and plant the poison for him. So, you think it's Benjamin, Sam, and the wife all in on it? Bowl says Sam, Europe says Sam, Celeste, and Ben. Oh, that was your guess. Billy says it's AI and Celeste. And I say it's Celeste and Sam, with a hint of Ben. So yeah, if anybody has any other guesses they want me to add to this, I absolutely will. Let me see if reading the last chapter is important. Rusty, thank you for the check-in. Rusty! And so the end of the last chapter, chapter 51, pretty much was just him discovering the long black tube thing that was in there. So he has no idea what it is. Let's see. 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Okay, so we'll read 3 chapters. Okay, guys? So that's where we're at. We're going to go ahead and dive in and just get it going. Once I finish these chapters, I will hop off so I can go watch the House of Dragons finale. And I forgot to finish my statement. So Hearthstone just reset. I finished the last season in like the low 50 or in the low 5,000s. I didn't play as much as I normally do, but they just started the new season and reset the rank, so I would suspect that there will be a Hearthstone stream in my future to show the new set. Okay, but for now, it's time to focus on the deepest fake. I hope you guys enjoy finishing this book with me. I've enjoyed reading it with you, and here we go. Isn't that where you usually... I usually end more in the 6,000s, so kind of sucks, but that's okay. I'll get it next time. I didn't play as much this time, so here we go. And I'll get the fire going. If the music is too loud, do let me know, because I swear in my last VOD it was really loud, but if you guys don't think it's loud, maybe it's just loud to me, just tell me. I turned it down just a tad, so if you feel like it needs to go lower, feel free to chime in and I'll fix it. Okay, here we go. Hey, Billy. We're just about to start. Chapter 52. No, hold on. Let me sit up, actually. And thank you for the check-in. Chapter 52. Liam considers taking the black canister with him, but dismisses the idea. It's evidence now, and the entire basement is a crime scene. Before leaving the crawl space, he snaps several photos of the device and the duct where it was hidden. Though he's turned off the canister's gas valve, he knows he'll need to notify the police and fire departments soon. But that will have to wait. After discarding the protective gear and the clothes he wore into the basement, he takes a quick shower and packs a small bag of essentials. He heads to his truck, realizing now that it's been safe all along. After tossing his bag in the back, he texts Andrea a photo of the torpedo-shaped canister, adding no explanation. She calls immediately. "You found it!" she exclaims. "Yup," he replies. "You wouldn't believe how deeply it was buried inside the heating duct." "It wasn't meant to be found." "No, it wasn't," he says. "And it probably never would have been. Whoever installed it knew exactly what they were doing." "Benjamin?" "Definitely. The big question is, did Celeste help him install it? Or at least know about it." "What does your gut tell you, Liam?" "Celeste hired Benjamin. She admitted she initiated their affair and kept seeing him after claiming it was over. It's hard to believe she wasn't involved." He hesitates, then adds, "But I'm still not certain." "What will it take?" "Think about it, Andrea. This was no amateur setup. They used a sophisticated piece of equipment. I even found a wireless motion sensor attached to it. A canister of an obscure poison rigged to release gas over weeks or months every time I sat down at my computer. Where would a contractor and a stay-at-home mom get their hands on that kind of gear?" "A stay-at-home mom with a background in advanced AI," Andrea reminds him. "That was a lifetime ago. She's not connected to that world anymore." "Maybe they weren't acting alone," Liam sighs. "Which means we're back to square one." "Not at all," Andrea counters. "We've already pieced together most of the puzzle." Liam's attention shifts as he hears a vehicle approaching. He looks up to see Celeste's car speeding down the driveway. "I've got to go, Andrea. I'll call you later." The car stops a few feet away, and Celeste jumps out. She rushes over, reaching to hug him, but he pulls back. "Where's Cole?" he asks, his tone sharp. If she's hurt by this rebuff, she doesn't show it. "He's still in the ER. They're planning to discharge him in about an hour." "Why did you leave?" "He asked me to. Some friends from soccer showed up, and he went into full teenage mode. Didn't want his mom around. I told him I'd pick him up in an hour." What are you doing here, Celeste? Morris called me, she says. He's rented us a condo downtown. I was gonna pack a bag for the kids and me. Is that really it? Or did you come to get rid of the evidence? The house is contaminated, he says. Send me a list of what you and the kids need. I'll get it. She extends her hand. I'm here already. It'll only take a few minutes. He recoils from her touch, feeling a wave of disgust. Our home has been gassed, Celeste. Her eyes widen. I thought you said it was some kind of leak, Liam. What's going on? You're scaring me. Your boyfriend welded a canister of poisonous gas into the ductwork. But all he says is, the house isn't safe for you. Then how was it any safer for you, especially with your condition? He bristles. I wore a respirator. I don't get it, she says, glancing around. Where are the fire trucks and emergency response teams? They'll be here soon enough, he says vaguely. Besides, I've been tied up rushing our son to the ER and securing safe accommodations for us. While you were... I told you exactly where I was, her voice sharpens. At a league match in Renton. I don't keep my phone in my pocket while I'm serving. Tennis again. He eyes her coolly. You sure it was Renton? Where else would it be? Maybe Tacoma. She stiffens. Did you follow me this morning, Liam? No, but I heard about your romantic brunch with Benjamin. She looks down at her feet. It wasn't like that. No? Then tell me what it was like. It was a goodbye. That would explain the long hug. As a matter of fact, it does. When Celeste looks up, her eyes have reddened. After I ended it, Benjamin wouldn't stop calling or texting. No matter how many ways I blocked him, he found a new way to reach me. Then yesterday, he contacted me through my sister, my little sister, Liam. I panicked. I agreed to meet him. Yes, I went there, but only to make him stop. Sounds perfectly plausible. I should have told you, Liam. I know. But after everything we've been through, you thought one more lie wouldn't hurt? I thought it would only make things worse. That's why I went all the way to Tacoma, to make sure Benjamin really understood it was over. And he got the message, Liam. He did. That's why we hugged. He understood it was goodbye. Tacoma's a long way to go just to say goodbye. He suggested it. I would have gone anywhere. Her eyes search his. I was desperate, Liam. That I don't doubt. Chapter 53. The instant Andrea opens the door, she feels the tension radiating from Liam. The deep ache from her broken collarbone is the only thing that keeps her from pulling him into a hug. They linger in the doorway, the air between them charged with an undeniable connection. At least, she hopes he feels it as strongly. Did you meet my Secret Service detail out front? She quips, trying to cut through the silence. Liam forces a chuckle. Yeah, your guy Dallas gave me the 3rd degree on the way in. I've never had a security detail before, she says, leading him into the living room. You've probably never been hunted by a driverless car either. There's that. Once they're seated on the couch, Liam's voice comes out heavy. Celeste showed up at the house right as I was leaving. Why? She says she came back to pack bags for herself and the kids. Sounds plausible. I confronted her about her brunch with Benjamin, he says, and then he summarizes the encounter. Do you believe she went to Tacoma just to say goodbye? Liam closes his eyes for a moment, as if trying to clear his thoughts. I don't know what to believe anymore, Andrea. She lightly touches her knee to his, and he doesn't pull away. None of it makes sense. I couldn't agree more, but which part are you referring to? He asks. Benjamin. He wouldn't have the expertise to pull off this poisoning on his own, or the motive. Agreed? Liam nods, but his expression is far from certain. He's either working with Celeste or someone else. She presses. Probably. He tilts his head, curious. What are you thinking, Andrea? Does it make sense that the same guy who planted a bomb in your basement would hang around, stalking your wife like some lovesick teenager? Liam exhales heavily. Not when you put it like that. Andrea presses her leg more firmly against his. I know you don't want to believe this, but the only explanation that fits is that Celeste is behind everything. Of course I don't want to believe it, he shifts, breaking their contact. But I'm not blind. The evidence points to her. Still. Still what? Even if she could get her hands on a sophisticated canister of nitrile gas, I can't see Celeste endangering our kids. Andrea nods slowly, understanding his reluctance. That kind of recklessness is hard to reconcile with the image of a devoted mother. That part is hard to explain. Liam's expression hardens. There's only one person who can confirm or deny Celeste's story. Benjamin? He nods. Let's go talk to him. Tonight? Right now. Andrea hesitates, weighing the risks. I was the one who insisted we handle this ourselves, but I said that when I was jacked up on adrenaline and painkillers. This has gone way too far. We need help, Liam. Professional help. It's past time to involve the police. Think about it, Andrea. Liam pulls out his phone, displaying a photo of the military-grade canister he found in the ductwork. If we put this in front of Benjamin, we'll have him cornered. And so would the cops. But he'll probably lawyer up with them. Whether he's working for Celeste or someone else, this might be our only chance to find out who else is involved. She studies his face intently. This has nothing to do with your need to confront the guy who slept with your wife and tried to kill you? His gaze is unwavering. It's not about that, Andrea. I promise. She lifts her elbow in its sling, wincing at the pain. I am one-armed, and you've been poisoned. We're not exactly in shape to take on Benjamin if things get physical, or worse, if he's armed. That's why we'll bring your Secret Service detail. Dallas looks like he can handle himself, and anyone else who might show up. As Andrea sits beside Liam in the back of the black sedan, the doubt churns in her mind. Dallas, the hulking security guard, drives in silence. Despite his very American name, he has the look and demeanor of someone faintly Eastern European, his stoic presence only adding to her unease. Liam can't stop rubbing his hands together, as if trying to warm them. Is that from the nerve issue? Andrea asks, breaking the silence. Yeah, my hands have gone numb over the last day or two. It's like when the dentist freezes your mouth. But your symptoms should improve now that you're no longer being exposed to the poison, right? God, I hope so. It's super annoying. Her eyes sharpen. Liam? Dr. Chow couldn't give me any guarantees, he admits, turning to stare out the window. She lays a hand on his arm, giving it a reassuring squeeze. You just turned off the gas today. Give it time. You'll get better. She tries to lighten the mood with a laugh. You're too pig-headed not to. Can't argue with that. He turns back to her, his face softening with gratitude. I couldn't have made it this far without you. Good, because I charge by the hour. Best money I've ever spent, he says, covering her hand with his. They ride in silence as the quiet streets of Burien blur by. Dallas slows as they approach an intersection, blocked by a police cruiser parked sideways across the road. He glances over his shoulder. The address you gave me is halfway down this block, Mr. Hirsch. Andrea pulls her hand away, exchanging a worried look with Liam. Can you go around the other side? Liam asks. Dallas shakes his head. It's blocked from both ends. Andrea cranes her neck, spotting another police car and two ambulances parked in the middle of the street. Benjamin? She wonders aloud. Liam yanks open the car door and gets out. Andrea follows him, noticing the unsteady way he moves, though it doesn't slow him as he heads straight for a young female officer leaning against her vehicle. She raises her hand as he approaches. The street is closed, sir. Emergency situation. My friend lives down there, Liam says, pointing past her. Sorry, the officer shakes her head. Only emergency personnel are allowed in. What kind of an emergency? Andrea asks. There's been an accident involving a pedestrian. A hit and run? The officer frowns. I'm not at liberty to comment. Did the victim survive? Andrea presses. The officer hesitates just enough to confirm Andrea's suspicions before saying, The department will issue an official statement soon. In the meantime, I need you to move to your vehicle. Liam turns to Andrea, his face drained of color, his eyes wide. Another driverless car? Chapter 54. Liam and Andrea sit across from the on-call detective in a stark, windowless room deep within the Seattle's PD's homicide unit. The setting feels ripped from one of the crime thrillers Liam devours, minus the stale coffee and crumpled paper cups. Detective Lyles, a stocky black man with sharp eyes and a slightly rumpled gray suit, scribbles notes furiously. One collar of his white shirt is flipped up, unnoticed. His pen races across the page as they recount every single detail. I get the craziest calls on my nights. Ask anyone, the detective whistles softly as he writes. But this one takes the cake, Andrea offers. He pauses, tapping the pen against the notebook. The whole damn cake. After the paramedics confirmed Benjamin's death at the scene, Dallas drove them straight to Seattle PD headquarters. They've been in this interview room for nearly an hour, unloading everything onto Detective Lyles. I know how far-fetched this must sound, Detective, Liam says, his voice steady, but the photos, lab results, and gas canister back it up. Far-fetched doesn't even begin to cover it, the detective frowns. That device in your basement, it's not still leaking, is it? No, I shut off the valve. But it's still down there? Unless someone's moved it. At this point, why not, right? Detective Lyles chuckles, then turns to Andrea. And you now want to amend your original statement about that car that tried to take you out, right? Andrea looks away, embarrassed. The part about the driver? Yes, or, lack of one. The detective rubs his temple, frowning. That seems like a detail that would have been worth mentioning. I should have. I'm sorry. Lyle's gaze shifts between them, unreadable. Did you tell your wife you were coming here, Mr. Hirsch? Liam shakes his head. Based on what you've told me, it's best you don't. Not until we've had a chance to talk to her. Detective Lyles stands, setting his pen on the table. Thanks for coming forward. We've got a lot to process. We'll send the fire department and hazmat team over to deal with that device. Get the crime scene techs in to check out the rest. Understood. Good. We'll let the techs do their work tonight. In the morning, we'll start taking formal statements from everyone involved, starting with your wife. As they settle into the back of Dallas's car, Andrea asks, How do you feel? Numb. Liam says, his voice flat. Getting used to that, though. You? Weird. And honestly, a little deflated. Why deflated? She adjusts her sling, wincing. It's out of our hands now. Which is where it probably should have been from the start. We did all right, though, considering, figuring out as much as we did. It felt satisfying, professionally speaking. You were incredible, Andrea. Except we haven't cracked it. With Benjamin dead, we've lost our best lead. Possibly our only one. Convenient, isn't it? She sighs. And Celeste? What about her? Her gaze turns distant. Does life just go on as usual? He groans. Define usual. Are you staying with her? In the same rental? I don't see another option. Not until I know exactly how involved she is. Liam looks away, the tension in his jaw tightening. Cole's okay, thank God, but I'm keeping the security team on site, at your place too. I'm not sure that's necessary. Liam senses a growing distance between them and fights the urge to reach for her hand. It is, for my peace of mind. She stares out the window. All right. Liam leans forward between the front seats. Dallas, please drop me off at Transcend's offices in Bellevue. Of course. Andrea looks at him, her voice low. Why the office? I need to talk to someone there. Who? My avatar, he says, though he knows there's more to it than that. That was a lot, right? Hi, Arctic. Thank you for the check-in. It's going to be AI. Celeste used her AI coding experience to use a car to kill Ben because she knew they were getting close. What? That was 3 chapters, yes. So we'll go over it. So I was right? We don't know yet, guys. So chapter 52, he just talks about how he found the canister. He tells Andrea, and then as soon as he gets home, boom! Celeste is there. Celeste is like, hey, I just came to get a bag, and Liam is like, what the heck, you left our kids by himself? And she's like, yeah, you know, teenagers, they don't want me there. Crazy, a little convenient, right? So he confronts her and tells her how he knows that she was seeing Benjamin, and she's like, oh my gosh, I was just saying goodbye, like he's so obsessed with me, oh my god, like it's over, right? Okay, cool. So in chapter 53, Liam tells Andrea all this, and Andrea's like, I don't know, that's kind of, it seems a little much. Like, if he's really that involved, why would he still be chasing after her, right? Andrea, like, she's right to say it's Celeste, but I swear, sometimes it seems like she's just saying Celeste because she wants Liam to, like, leave her, you know? Like, leave him. You don't need to be with him. Get out of here. I will tell you, it would piss me off to no end. And I know this isn't the answer. But if Andrea ends up being the killer, that would make me so mad. That would make me irate if this was just an elaborate scheme. You know? If she's like, I'm the one who's been poisoning you. That would push me over the edge. But that's not gonna happen. There's no way. Thank you for the hydrate check. I'm having a sweet tea. Homemade. Maybe he's poisoning himself. Maybe the killer is the friends we made along the way. And the lovers. Okay, so in that middle chapter, right, she's like, let's go see Benjamin. I just think it's crazy, though, that, like, they immediately are like, oh, it must have been Benjamin that got killed. So that's pretty crazy that of any accident or in that general area, they just happened to assume it was, you know, Benjamin, and they were right. So sucks. One casualty. Her dad actually suicided because of an AI, and she's looking for revenge. Yeah, I know, right? That'd be crazy. And so after that, they finally decide to tell the cops. And the cop is like, hey, don't tell your wife right now. Probably not a good idea. And they're like, he's like, I need to go talk to my AI avatar. So that's where we're at. Oh, goodness. I'm gonna be mad if Andrea is involved in this in any way, actually. So I would be pissed. Let's go ahead and get into these next 3 chapters, shall we? The plot thickens. It thickens and quickens, and I'm ready to see who is right. See, if the wife isn't involved, then it's strange. It's crazy coincidental that she's acting so strange. It would be. Like I said, I don't know what to think, but I just feel like it has to be Celeste. Just as there a murder plot. I know, right? She's just in the wrong place every single time. Alright, here we go. Chapter 55. When Dallas drops Liam off at Transcend's headquarters, Andrea insists on going in with him. He doesn't argue, already saddened at the thought of not seeing her regularly. Now that the police have taken over the investigation, they'll have no reason or excuse to spend time together. He gives her a quick tour of the 9th floor before stopping at Ellis's office at the end of the corridor. Why don't you wait here? I can log you into Ellis's computer. Doubt he'll be using it again. I can't come with you? He frowns. While I talk to my avatar? I've heard so much about the app. I'm really curious. Soon, I promise, he says, sensing her disappointment. But right now, I need a little time alone with it. All right, she replies, though her reluctance seeps through. He reaches out, brushing her cheek lightly with his hand. 15 minutes, Andrea. 30 tops. Then I'll show you. He knows if she's watching, he won't be able to follow through with what he's planning. Andrea takes a seat behind Alice's desk. What's the password? Liam gives her the info and heads into his own office. Once inside, he closes the door firmly behind him. He logs into their story and navigates the voice prompts. When the app asks whom he wants to interact with, he hesitates before saying, Celeste Hirsch. "One moment, please, while I try to retrieve the profile," the app responds in its neutral tone. Liam knows it will find his wife's profile. He uploaded all the data after discovering her affair, but confronting the avatar, like facing the real Celeste, proved too painful, so he never actually used it. Now, with her as the prime suspect in his attempted murder, he needs to hear her answers. If not in her words, then at least in her voice. "Is this the correct Celeste Hirsch?" the app asks, displaying a photo of his smiling wife. "Yes." Loading. A few seconds later, Celeste's avatar appears on the screen, unnervingly lifelike. "Hello, Liam," she says, her tone and expression eerily familiar. "Hello, Celeste." The avatar flips her hair, just like Celeste often does. "What would you like to talk about?" "Benjamin." "Who's Benjamin?" "Our contractor, the man you were sleeping with." The avatar looks momentarily confused. "You and I have been together for almost 20 years. "Exactly, but you still cheated. You admitted it." "I'm sorry, Liam," she says, her voice heavy with regret. "That's not like me, not at all. I've been so happy with you, and Ava, and Cole. All those wonderful trips we took, like backpacking through New Zealand, or that whitewater rafting trip in the Yukon, and our 10th anniversary on the Amalfi Coast. That was so romantic." Liam knows the algorithm is piecing together memories from the photos he uploaded, but the mention of those trips only fuels his anger. "Yet you still went and slept with our contractor, and you had the nerve to blame it on me for not prioritizing you in our relationship." His voice cracks. "Which might be the only honest thing you've said to me in a long time." The avatar's expression turns sheepish. "But the affair is over now, right?" "You swore it was, but I wasn't sure. At least, not until tonight." "What happened tonight?" "Benjamin died." Her hand flies to her mouth. "How did he die?" "He was hit by a car." Her face twists in horror. "No. I lost my best friend that way. Was the driver drunk?" "There was no driver." "No driver? I'm confused, Liam." "It was a self-driving car, Celeste. Someone sent it specifically to kill Benjamin, to keep him quiet." "That's horrible." "I think you killed him," Liam says, suddenly unsure if he's accusing his wife or the app itself. "No," she cries. "I'm not capable of that. How long have you known me?" "I'm not sure I know you at all anymore." The avatar's face goes blank. "I don't have enough data points to answer your query," it says mechanically. "Then let me fill in the gaps." He quickly outlines the conspiracy to poison him and the events it transcend, including Rudy's sabotage and Ellis's fraud. "But more than anyone, you had the opportunity to plant that device in the basement, and after you fell for Benjamin, you had a motive, too. With your AI expertise, you could have hacked into my medical records and altered them. The only part I can't figure out is how you got your hands on a device like that." "What device, Liam?" "The canister of IDPN with the time release mechanism." "IDPN is an industrial nitro." "Yes." "The one you've been slowly poisoning me with," he utters at the screen, momentarily forgetting he's accusing an algorithm, not his wife. "No matter how determined you were to get rid of me, to be with Benjamin, how could you, Celeste?" "How could I what?" "Risk hurting our kids like that. What the hell is wrong with you?" "Liam, it's me," the avatar pleads. "I would never hurt any of you." "Then who would?" "I don't have enough data points to answer your query. Perhaps I did poison you. But isn't it possible that I'm being framed?" Chapter 56. Andrea stares at the screen, but her thoughts keep drifting back to Liam. What could be so secretive that he needs privacy with the AI app? It has to involve Celeste. Andrea can't understand why Liam remains conflicted about his wife. After admitting to her affair, Celeste had the nerve to sneak off for a secret brunch with her lover. Yet Liam is still willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. Andrea, scarred by Max's betrayal, finds it impossible to be that trusting or forgiving. For her, Actions, not words, define people. Celeste's story about driving 40 miles just to say goodbye doesn't add up. That might not even be the worst of it. What if Celeste, realizing the canister had been found, sent that car to kill Benjamin to cover her own tracks? Andrea rubs her tired eyes and sighs. What happens to us now, Liam? The thought tugs at her heart. With the investigation out of their hands, will they just drift apart? It's probably for the best, she tells herself. Liam is still a married man, tied to his family, fractured as it may be. She has no right to interfere. But the idea of going back to her life without him leaves her with a hollow ache. She checks her watch. Liam's been in his office for over 30 minutes. She wants to check on him, but forces herself to stay put. Instead, she focuses on the computer, launching another search on Benjamin, hoping to dig something, anything, she might have missed. She opens his website and finds it dated, almost neglected, with the latest testimonials from over 4 years ago. The comments are glowing, exactly what you'd expect on a business-owned site. Remembering Liam's crack about Benjamin's Google ratings, she broadens her search to more neutral platforms. His ratings are stellar, 4.9 on Google, 4.7 on Yelp. The reviews echo the praise on his site. With over 300 ratings on Google alone, it's hard to believe he rigged them all. She scrolls through the positive feedback. Benjamin is the best in the state. Me and my wife are real pleased with Ben's work. Good solid work. We'll definitely call him in the future. Came in on budget and finished 2 weeks early. Excellent workmanship. Recommended by my cousin. So pleased. Benjamin turned what looked like a teardown into our dream home. She pauses. Something in the list catches her eye. Then it hits her. The username, SS_Seahawk74. She's seen it before. A surge of excitement runs through her. She quickly pulls up the website where she saw the username earlier, a fan site for the Seattle Seahawks. Full of endless threads dissecting the team's performance, she finds a long rant about the punt return team posted by one SS_Seahawk74. She clicks on the username and a profile pops up. There's no name, just a photo of a guy in a Seahawks jersey and sunglasses. The thrill spreads through her, charging every nerve. I know what the SS stands for, but I'm not going to say it. Chapter 57. Liam hears the faint whoosh of the door opening. I need 5 more minutes, Andrea, he calls out, quickly minimizing the Their Story app on his screen. But it's Sam, not Andrea, who strides into the office with his usual swagger. You've called me a lot of things over the years, boss, but Andrea, that's a new one, he says with a booming laugh. Liam forces a smile. Sam, hey, what brings you by so late? COO of this outfit doesn't clock out at 5, especially when our next-gen app's launch date seems to change with the cycles of the moon. He gestures to the ceiling with feigned exasperation. Liam smiles fades. We're not going over this again, Sam. Not now. I'm too tired. Sam's face shifts from playful to serious. Because of this mysterious illness of yours? In a way. What does that even mean, Liam? Sam drops heavily into the chair across from him. Can you just be straight with me for once? I feel like you've been keeping me in the dark for months. You're right. I have. And I'm sorry, but I couldn't tell you before. Why not? I didn't know who I could trust. Sam peers over his glasses with the look of a disappointed teacher. Not even me? They were listening. Everywhere. Sam's frown deepens. Who's they? What the hell is happening? Liam exhales heavily. How much time do you have? All night. I thought I was dying, Sam. Liam recounts everything. The strange symptoms, the ALS diagnosis, his decision to pursue MAID, the shocking discovery that his test results were falsified, and the chilling realization that he was being poisoned to push him towards suicide. He explains the desperate scramble to find the toxin source, only to discover his wife's lover had planted the canister in the basement before being killed in a driverless hit and run. By the time he finishes, Sam's jaw is hanging open. That is... Wow. You're serious? Deadly serious. Liam replies. And you think Celeste is involved? The poison was in our basement, planted by her lover. Hard to overlook all that. Sam sits in stunned silence for a moment. And why is it okay to tell me all this now? You'd have found out soon enough. The Seattle PD just opened a homicide investigation. Tomorrow, detectives will be interviewing everyone, including you. Before Sam can respond, the door swings open again, and Andrea steps in. Oh, hello, Sam says, and who might you be? Andrea freezes. Can I talk to you, Liam? Privately? You can talk in front of me, Sam says, grinning. There aren't any secrets between us, not anymore. Right, Liam? I only need a moment, Andrea insists, her voice steady but edged with tension. Okay, Liam says, starting to rise. Sam waves him back down. Sit. We're good. Liam hesitates. It's kind of personal, Andrea presses. Just give us a minute, Sam, Liam says. She can wait, boss. We're in the middle of something important here. Andrea takes a step back, her eyes wary. Where the fuck do you think you're going? Sam growls, his tone harsh enough to catch Liam off guard. I've seen the review, Andrea says quietly. Sam's eyes narrow. What review? The one you left on Benjamin's website. Sam slaps the desk. Shit! I'd forgotten about that. Benjamin nagged me for that stupid review, but that was years ago. And I didn't use my actual name. I never do. Andrea's gaze flicks between Liam and Sam. Probably not the best move to leave a 5-star review for someone you're planning to murder. Liam's head snaps up. Murder? Sam ignores him. You're too goddamn much, Andrea. A real dog with a bone. Not even a driverless car could scare you off. He turns to Liam with a sneer. Where did you find this one? You? The realization slams into Liam like a freight train. Sam shrugs, unbothered. A surge of confusion, fear, and rage propels Liam out of his chair, but his leg gives out, forcing him to clutch the desk for support. Careful, Prez. You're not yourself these days, Sam says with mock concern. But nitros will do that to you. You son of a bitch, Liam growls. Sam reaches into his pocket and pulls out a gun with the ease of someone reaching for a pen. He waves it at both of them. Sit down, Prez. And you too, Nancy Drew. Hands on the desk. Or hand in your case, he says, pointing to her sling. Once Andrea is seated beside Liam, her right hand resting on the desk next to his, Sam scans their faces with a smug smile. Well, isn't this convenient? The tracker said you were in your office, Liam. That's why I came down here. But finding her here too? He motions to Andrea with the gun. You're just a bonus. What's the point, Sam? Liam snaps. The whole office is monitored. Sam laughs. Not anymore. You disabled the system? Right before I got here. Why? Liam demands, barely containing his fury. Why? Sam's voice rises. Because for 15 years, you've treated me like a lackey, a puppet, your fucking servant. Pick your own slur. I've been here since day one, pouring everything into this place. He jabs his finger against the desk. I'm more responsible for this company's success than you've ever been. But did I get recognized as an equal partner? And would I ever get my turn at the top while you were around? He shakes his head, bitterness etched across his face. No wonder Rudy has it out for you. You have zero appreciation and even less loyalty. Liam nods towards the gun, his rage simmering. You want to talk about loyalty, Sam? It's not just that, Sam says, his tone softening. It's the bigger picture. Let's face it, boss. You've gone soft. Look how wishy-washy you are about their story's launch. First, you push to move up the date, then you backtrack, paralyzed by doubt and fear. Cowardice, really. You've lost your killer instinct. Liam feels Andrea's foot nudge under his desk, a signal to stay calm. Slowing his breath, he tries to keep his cool. And you thought you could do better? He asks. Thought? No, I knew I could, Sam sighs. When we first started Transcend, you were focused. You had vision. You understood that AI was a race. There was no glory in second place, but you lost the plot. You started worrying about shit that was out of our control. Nefarious applications, stringent guidelines. Maybe Celeste got to you, maybe Nellie. Who cares? Who knows? But you've lost your edge, your nerve too. He shakes his head. And we saw it, even before you found God or whatever it was after your diagnosis and started waxing all immoral about AI. Who's we? Liam asks, dread rising in his gut. Sam's grin widens with a touch of cruelty. You'll never guess who's been helping me. Celeste? Sam laughs, motioning to him with the gun. You have, boss. What the hell are you talking about? Well, your avatar anyway, your old self, your better self, the one with guts, the one who didn't think twice about decking Rudy Ziegler in court. Liam's head spins as the realization sinks in. Their story? You've been conspiring with an app? Conspiring with an app? Sam scoffs. I'm not psychotic. I've just been consulting your avatar for advice. And maybe a little inspiration too. Credit where it's due. After I shared your strong views on euthanasia, your avatar was the one who came up with the idea for mimicking ALS. The avatar suggested killing me? With a little nudge for me. After all, even if I could have just killed you outright and gotten away with it, who knows who the board would have installed in your place. But to convince you to take your own life, and before you did, appoint me as your successor? You've got to admit, that's fucking genius. Their story did most of the work too, finding the perfect poison, the slow-release delivery system, even doctoring your test to match the ALS diagnosis. But it couldn't plant the canister for you, Liam says. You needed Benjamin for that. That idiot? Sam laughs. I didn't need him. I just used him. Poor guy was clueless, right up to the moment the car clipped him at 80 miles an hour. Liam feels the pressure of Andrea's foot, urging him to stay calm. If Benjamin didn't know about the device, why kill him? What choice did I have? Sam frowns as if the answer is obvious. As soon as you found it, I knew you'd blame Benjamin. Dumb as he was, he could still point the finger back at me. How did you know I'd found the canister? For weeks I sensed you were catching on, Sam says and points to Andrea. Like when you hired this one to dig into us, VPs? At first I chalked it up to Ellis embezzling from the company, messing with the books to cover his gambling losses. Then, with Rudy linking info to sabotage their story and a turn quick profit, well, it was enough to make anyone paranoid. Sam continues, almost to himself. But I ignored the other signs. Your sudden disappearance when you'd go dark on all your electronics, those lady gloves you wore in here. He shakes his head. But I knew you were still seeing Dr. Glynn and planning to go ahead with Maid, so I thought we were still on track. That's on me. I should have been more vigilant. What finally tipped you off? Morris? Morris? Liam frowns. I didn't tell him anything. Yeah, but when he said you were clearing out your house and had hired a private security outfit with Mossad ties, I figured you must have found the device. When I checked the sensor and saw it had moved before going offline, I knew the jig was up. The jig is up, Sam, Liam says, barely containing his rage. It won't take the cops long to figure it out. Sam chuckles. Oh, I think that'll take them a while. In fact, I doubt they will ever know now that you've handed me a scapegoat. What scapegoat? Your cheating wife? Liam's blood runs cold. Leave her out of this. I couldn't see the end game myself, boss, not until tonight. But don't you get it? By going to the police, you gave me the perfect cover. You've implicated Celeste as the mastermind, and Benjamin as her accomplice. Now that he's dead, when she vanishes too, the cops will assume she killed her lover and went on the run, especially after I tweak her digital trail to make it look that way. Liam hangs his head in despair. As it drops, he notices the glint of metal between Andrea's clenched fingers in her sleeve, the tip of a nozzle barely visible. His pulse quickens. She taps his foot again, a signal more urgent than comforting. Sam slowly rises from his chair. Of course, none of this works as long as you two are still breathing. And in my revised version of history, Celeste would have seen you both as loose ends that needed tying up. Andrea lets out a sharp laugh. Dream on, Sam. You've already lost. Not a chance, he shakes his head. I'm adjusting mid-game, like any good coach would. You're desperate, and you're done, she counters, leaning forward, her sling hovering over the hand. Sam leans in, his stare fierce and unblinking. Trust me, I'm not the one who's done here. Andrea's free hand slips into her sling. In one swift motion, she yanks it out and squirts a stream of pepper spray directly into Sam's face. As soon as it said the Seahawks thing, I was like, dang. SS Sam Sangira Seahawks. That's him. Bull said it was Sam all along. So really, Bull gets the big prize. Europe said Sam, Celeste, and Ben. Billy said AI and Celeste. And I said Celeste, Sam, and Ben. But you know what, guys? It's kind of sounding like Celeste isn't involved at all. And Ben is kind of involved. I said it was the same. It was Sam who convinced Ben. I think I missed how his username gave him away. So Andrea was looking at, she decided to dig into Ben's website, or Benjamin's internet presence. And on his website, he had a bunch of reviews, and one review came from somebody named SS_Seahawks 74 or whatever. And Andrea had seen that, what do you call it? That username for the fantasy football website way back when, because you know Sam's really big into fantasy football. It mentioned that like early in the chapters, but she saw it and she was like, where have I seen this before? So she searches the username up, finds where the username is from, and when she clicks on it, she sees a picture of Sam with the glasses. So that's how she figured out that Benjamin's review from Sam, or was Sam, and that's how Sam and Benjamin are tied together. But I don't know that Celeste is involved. She's kind of sounding innocent in all this. But I guess we'll find out if she actually like did this or not, you know. We're in the end game now, guys. We have 3 more chapters to go. So let's take a quick. Do we think Celeste is still involved? Is Celeste involved? Yes. No. And we're gonna make this poll for 5 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute break. Stand up, get water, do what you gotta do, and when we return, we are gonna finish the last final 3 chapters of The Deepest Fake. We are coming to an end. I will see you guys very soon. Come back with popcorn or snacks. That way you have something for this finale. BRB. I don't know what's going on with my mic, but it keeps, like, toggling on and off. Okay, it doesn't matter. We're here. Welcome back from the break, y'all. What did you do? Did you stand up? Did you get water? Did you stare up into the void? I want to know. And if you don't want to tell me, totally fine. Keep your secrets. It looks like people don't think Celeste is involved, and I agree. I think she's been framed, and I feel silly because I was pretty confident that she was part of the killing, the beating, but it seems like she's not. But welcome back, y'all. What I did during my break is I checked my phone. I looked at my phone, and then I thought about how nice my hair smells right now. I did such a good wash on it because I was in the beach I was in the ocean water so much. The water was feeling so good, guys. I wish I could do that all the time. But alas, I have one more beach weekend on the books for summertime. I'm going to a closer but smaller known beach, I guess. It's still like a few hours away, but even so, I'm doing that with some friends. What is it? Not this upcoming weekend, but the weekend after. So, really looking forward to that. It should be fun. But after that, who knows when my next beach day will be. But I'm trying not to think about it. Hey, Hayams. Welcome in. Hi, how are ya? Hello. How are you? 100% straight A nursing Goyle. Salty smelling bear. That's right. I smell like sunscreen. Let's go to the beach. I'm building hype for Fortune's Weave. What is Fortune's Weave? Also, PSO Addict, have you played the new Hearthstone update? Just chilled on your PC. Is your PC working well for you, Billy? Are you loving it? Fortune's Weave. What is this? Oh, Fire Emblem? I don't know anything about Fire Emblem, so I cannot say if it's great or not. But that's really cool. I'm doing well, Hayami. I had a beach weekend, and it was great. It was so dang good. I went to the beach all day yesterday, and then this morning I went for a couple hours before I started the long trek home. Ugh. You haven't found a game you can't max out yet? Very nice, Billy. I love it. The music in the app is good. I have not played a single Fire Emblem game, so I don't know anything about it. Is it a gacha game? What is it? Before the break, we read 6 chapters of The Deepest Fake, and now after the break, we are going to finish these last 3 chapters. I know, guys. All good things must come to an end, and this book is not immune to it. But we have 3 chapters left, and then we are done with this book, and next Sunday, we will start a new one. Woo! Not sure what type we're gonna start yet. Is it okay to go back to romance, or would you guys prefer I did another thriller? Let me know. I'm always looking for an excuse to go to Barnes & Noble, so tell me what you guys want to read or I guess would like to see on here, and I will make it happen. As long as it's not a slutty book, because, I won't read that on here. Harry Potter, no. We want you to dance the thriller. I do it all the time. Let me switch back to our virtual cottage, guys. The way you walk, the way you understand me. I don't know why I have that song stuck in my head, if you guys have seen it trending on the internet. All right, we are going to finish up these last 3 chapters, guys. Coming to the conclusion, why no slutty books? Because I'm not going to read smut here to you guys. Not for free, at least. I would totally be okay with it if people were paying me to read stuff like that. I think I could do it, but not for free. That's reasonable. Yeah, you gotta pay for that kind of entertainment. Okay, let's finish these last 3 chapters, shall we? Here we go. And we know Sam is the killer. Sam and the AI, but we don't know the rest. Chapter 58. A jolt of pain shoots through Andrea's collarbone and up to her scalp, but she doesn't hesitate. As Sam stumbles back, clawing at his eyes, she slams her fist down on his hand, sending the gun clattering to the floor. Sam howls in pain and fury, swinging wildly. Andrea ducks, feeling the rush of air as his fist grazes her cheek. She lunges forward, slamming her good shoulder into his midsection. He topples backward, and she lands on top of him, but the agony in her collarbone robs her of breath. Before she can catch it, he wriggles free. Sam pounces, his weight crushing down on her, and the pain in her shoulder becomes unbearable. His bloodshot eyes blaze with rage as he grips her neck and squeezes. Choking, Andrea claws at him with her one good hand, but she's no match for his brute strength. "You little bitch," Sam spits, spraying her face with flecks of saliva. Andrea's airway closes. Lightheadedness creeps in, dulling the pain, but sapping her strength. Her hand falls limp, her vision narrows to a tunnel, and she feels herself slipping away. Just as darkness closes in, a muffled explosion shatters the silence. The grip on her neck loosens, and the crushing weight lifts from her chest. She gasps, gulping in desperate breaths. As her vision clears, she sees Sam, kneeling beside her, his hands raised in front of his face. Liam stands over him, a gun in hand aimed at Sam's head. Liam's eyes are wild. "Andrea, are you okay?" "Yeah," she croaks. "Give me one good reason not to pull this trigger, Sam," Liam growls. "Don't need to," Sam sneers. "You don't have the balls, Prez." "Try me," Liam says, steadying his aim. "Don't, Liam," Andrea warns, her voice raspy but firm. Liam's focus remains on Sam. "Move an inch, and I won't stop firing until I'm out of bullets." With his left hand, Liam pulls out his phone, but as he begins to dial, his right hand starts to twitch, the gun barrel bobbing uncontrollably. Panic crosses his face as his hands twist into an unnatural fist, the muzzle pointing skyward. Andrea struggles to rise, but the pain immobilizes her. She watches helplessly as Sam springs to his feet. Liam drops his phone and tries to pry the gun from his clenched right hand with his left, but Sam is too fast. He yanks it from Liam's grip and shoves him in the chest. Horrified, Andrea watches as Sam levels the gun at Liam. "If that isn't the perfect metaphor for you, a man who can't pull the trigger when it matters most, I don't know what the hell is." Liam's eyes meet Andrea's, filled with shame and regret. "It's not your fault," she murmurs. She might be right. The IDPN is as effective as advertised. Sam rubs his eyes with his free hand. "Christ, that pepper spray stings. I'll remember this, Andrea." "Let her go, Sam," Liam pleads. "She's not involved." "I couldn't even if I wanted to," Sam shakes his head. "I was thinking we'd all go for a long drive, but who has time for that?" He trains the gun on Andrea. "Once I bring Celeste back here, we'll tidy this all up, make it look like a double murder-suicide. Then their story will ensure the security footage fits the whole narrative." Andrea stares down the barrel. There's no fear, just a strange calm. She thinks of her father and finds comfort, hoping she might see him again soon. Then, blackness swallows the room. Chapter 59. Crouching in the dark, Liam feels utterly helpless. No one breathes. He hears feet shuffling, followed by a loud crack and the splintering of wood at the doorway. A low-pitched gunshot echoes through the room. Someone near him groans and collapses with a thud. The footsteps erupt into thunderous stomping. "Hands on your heads! Hands on your heads," a deep voice commands. Light floods the room, revealing a surreal scene that makes Liam question if he's dreaming or already dead. Sam writhes on the floor, clutching his belly. A uniformed officer kneels on his chest, while another kicks a gun away from his side. The officers, dressed in black SWAT uniforms with bulletproof vests, helmets, and night vision goggles, have their semi-automatic weapons trained on Sam. Liam's frantic gaze locks on Andrea. "Andrea!" "I'm okay," she murmurs, looking as shocked as he feels. Liam hurries over and crouches beside her, noticing how she braces her left shoulder with her right hand. "You're hurt," he says. "Only my collarbone. The break must be worse." "This is my fault," Again, she grins weakly. I'm thinking it might be more Sam's. Liam reaches a hand toward her. What can I do? She shakes her head slightly. It'll pass. I just need a minute. Distract me from the pain. You knew it was him, didn't you? Only minutes before you found out, she says. I recognized Sam's username on a website. Benjamin had done work for him before. Then it all clicked. That's what I was coming in to tell you. Why did you bring pepper spray? I heard something in the corridor earlier. I was already on edge after Benjamin's murder, and I grabbed it from my bag without thinking. But I had no idea Sam was in there with you. Where would I be without you, he says. She looks down. You know what this means, don't you? He nods. Celeste wasn't involved. You must be so relieved. Before Liam can respond, a female paramedic with cropped blonde hair steps over and kneels beside Andrea. She glances at Liam. Excuse me, sir. I need a few moments with her. Andrea nods to him. I'll be fine. As Liam stands, he looks over to where another paramedic is assessing Sam. They shot me, Sam moans in disbelief. Too bad it was just with a beanbag, Nellie chirps, appearing at the doorway. Liam gapes at her. Nellie? What are you doing here? Step back, ma'am, one of the officers instructs, but Nellie ignores him and strides straight towards Liam. When she reaches him, Liam gestures toward the officer. You called him in? Damn straight I did. I've had my eye on Sam for months. You have? Actually, I never trusted the guy, Nellie nods contemptuously in Sam's direction. I've been tracking his activity with their story. His usage spiked recently. The firewalls wouldn't let me tap into his conversations, but the amount of time he spent on the app was off the charts. I had a bad feeling. And after that leak, he was way too eager to pin it on me, to get rid of me. I wish you'd told me sooner, Liam says. She plants her hands on her hips. Would you have listened? Probably not. Earlier tonight, when I saw he'd shut down all the surveillance systems, I knew something was up. She glances at Sam, then back at Liam. He didn't know I could turn everything back on remotely, or off, in the case of the lighting. So you heard everything he said? Most of it. It's all recorded, too. Nellie watches as the officers pull Sam to his feet, his hands cuffed behind him. She turns back to Liam. I heard enough to call in an active shooter threat and got Delta Force over here to act. Liam rests a hand on her shoulder. Thank you, Nellie. I won't doubt you again. Better not, she replies, shrugging off his hand before turning to speak to one of the officers. Before Liam can return to Andrea, two cops march Sam right past him. Their eyes lock for a long moment. There's not a flicker of remorse in Sam's dark stare. You're gonna kill their story, aren't you? I just might. You're so fucking soft, Sam snarls as the cops lead him away. Chapter 60. The past month has felt more like a year. Dr. Chow warned Liam that although his nerves have recovered about 80%, further improvement is unlikely. Liam is more hopeful, though. It's only been 5 weeks since he unearthed the poison canister, and today, for the second Saturday in a row, he's heading out to climb with Ava. Don't go for one of your all-day brunches after Dad, Cole says as the family gathers in the kitchen. We've got to be in Everett by 2 for my game. Has Dad missed one yet? Ava challenges. You'd love it if he did, wouldn't you? Cole shoots back. OMG, Colton. Could you be any more of a drama queen? Me? Right, Cole snorts. Am I the one who had an hour-long meltdown last night because my boots didn't go with my jacket? Liam's smile broadens as he listens to their banter, a sign that normalcy is creeping back into their lives. But then Celeste steps in, her voice firm. No one's going anywhere until you deal with the tornado that tore through your bedrooms. She nods toward the staircase. Now, both of you. Ava and Cole exchange exaggerated eye rolls before trudging upstairs. Remember when they used to like us? Celeste asks. They adore you, Liam says. Always have. I think you're their number one these days, she smiles, searching his eyes for reassurance. But I'll settle for second place. He notices how hard she's trying. Celeste found them a couples therapist, and in their last session, she tried to take responsibility for everything. Liam wound up in the strange position of defending her reasons for cheating. He never imagined anything could shatter her quiet self-assurance. It's painful to see her so insecure, so desperate for signs of forgiveness. What she doesn't understand is that he has forgiven her. It's the trust that's broken. Liam simply isn't ready to trust her again, and he doesn't know if he ever will be. Instead of voicing these thoughts, he turns back to his laptop. I've got a ton of work to do before Monday. You're worried about the board meeting, aren't you? Celeste asks. Hard not to. It's really hard not to be when our stock has tanked by 50%. No one's happy, except maybe Rudy, who's probably making a killing. But what can the board do? Fire me, for starters. Even though you're the majority shareholder? It would be tricky, but not unprecedented. The board can replace me as CEO if they believe my decisions are hurting the company's value, and, by extension, the shareholders. Matter of fact, it's their fiduciary duty. And if I fought them in court, it would only weaken the stock more. What are you going to do, Liam? Try to make them see that this year's revenues won't matter if their story destabilizes the world and the markets with it. She bites her lip. Now who's the drama queen? Am I? Look how easily Sam weaponized the app. Others will do the same unless we prevent it. Do you think Nellie and the team can really put the necessary safeguards in place? They have to, or I won't release the app. Even if the board agrees, won't someone else just develop their own version of their story? Probably, but there's nothing I can do about that. She starts to speak, but he cuts her off. Your experience with the app and your friend Ella, that never should have happened. We can't let their story get into people's heads and play amateur therapist. Its scope has to be curtailed. Can your coders do that? I think so, but it'll take time, and a hell of a lot more testing. She nods and reaches out to touch his arm, but hesitates, her hand stopping just short. I love that you're trying to do the right thing here, Liam, despite the cost. The uncertainty in her eyes stirs his conscience. I can't believe I let myself think that you might have been involved with poisoning. I'm sorry, Celeste. It's not like I didn't give you a good reason to doubt me. She clears her throat, as if trying to swallow her guilt. Plus, you were being attacked from every angle. Yeah, it did feel that way. Not even our home was safe, she shakes her head. I can't believe Sam planted that canister in our basement. He had help. Not from Benjamin, though. No. Celeste's chin drops, her voice lowers. I got him killed, didn't I? Sam killed Benjamin. It had nothing to do with you. But if I hadn't mentioned to Sam last summer that he was doing our why wouldn't you? Besides, how could you have known Sam had also used Benjamin for work at his place? She stares at the floor. Still, if Benjamin and I hadn't... It has nothing to do with you, Celeste. Nothing. Sam set Benjamin up and then he killed him. He's the only one responsible. Liam had only found out yesterday, when Detective Lyles called to check in, just how much Sam had manipulated Ben. Despite his lawyer's advice, Sam's been very chatty with us, the detective said. What's he got to lose? His entire confession is recorded. Word is, he's negotiating a plea deal. It's the least he can do for the taxpayers. Honestly, I think Sam's proud of his scheme to steal your company. He certainly likes to crow about it. Let him, Liam said. Can I ask you something, detective? Shoot. What did Sam mean when he told me Benjamin was clueless? How could he have been if he was the one who planted the canister? He didn't, Detective Lyles said flatly. No? Who did? Some hitter who specialized in explosives. Sam hired him off the dark web. The guy's in the wind now. How did a hitman get into my house? Another masterstroke, according to Sam anyway, the detective chuckled. First, he made sure Benjamin's regular HVAC subcontractors were tied up with work at his place. Then, he approached Benjamin with some sob story about his cousin's kid who lost his job as a heating tech. He played on Benjamin's symphony to get this guy into your basement. It suddenly clicked for Liam. So even though Benjamin wasn't involved, if he'd ever been questioned about the canister in my vent, he would have immediately put two and two together and pointed the finger at Sam. Exactly, the detective agreed, which is why Sam silenced him. As much as Liam resented Benjamin for trying to steal his wife, his murder had nothing to do with the conspiracy or the affair. The guy didn't deserve to die like roadkill. I never loved him, Celeste murmurs, pulling Liam back to the present. You know that, don't you? Liam hesitates. I want to believe it. It's true, her eyes widen, pleading for him to understand. It was over before Benjamin died. Completely. He hesitates and gives a small nod. Okay. But that might not be enough for you, right? She asks, her voice catching slightly. Maybe not. Liam's thoughts drift to Andrea, to their last meeting at their Starbucks 2 days ago. She wasn't wearing a sling, and the scab on her forehead had healed, leaving only a faint pinkish mark. Her easy smile made her that much more attractive, reminding Liam of how much he missed her. How's the shoulder? He asked after they sat down. Better. She ran a hand over the fabric covering her collarbone. Apparently, I'll always have an adorable little bump here to remind me of our adventure. A memento you could probably do without, he grinned. The whole experience, too, no doubt. Not sure about that. Her eyes softened as a gentle smile spread across her face. There was some real opportunity for personal growth, as the TikTokers love to say, in our adventure. You were brilliant, Andrea, the way you pieced it all together. It was easier for me. I wasn't personally invested. She looked down, reaching for her cup. At least, not when it came to Sam. In retrospect, I ignored so many signs, Liam sighed. Deep down, Sam was a bully, always punching down, but I overlooked it because I thought he was so dedicated to transcend. And let's face it, to me. Don't beat yourself up. Sociopaths are masters at fooling people. I didn't really know him at all, did I? I don't think he let you. Seems to me Sam was the human equivalent of a deep fake. Liam laughed. I like that. She took another sip of her coffee, then out of nowhere said, Oh, and I went on a date last weekend. Good on you, Liam said, taken aback but doing his best to mask his surprise and disappointment. How did it go? Probably a one-off, but for me, it's a step in the right direction. I think I'm ready to move on from Max. Hell, I might even be willing to trust someone else with a second date. You will, he said, keeping his voice steady despite the twinge of jealousy. You're going to find someone who never forgets how lucky he is to be with you. At this point, I'd settle for one who doesn't screw his work colleagues. Her eyes drifted down to her cup again. I was even considering trying to track down my mom, if she's still alive. I bet your dad would be proud. I hope so, she sighed. It's easier now, after his letter. I can properly grieve him and appreciate what we had together. And move on? That too, I hope. I'm happy for you, Andrea. Just like I am for you. Because I'm not dying anymore. That, and for making things right with Celeste. For keeping the family together. Many people would have walked away. Hard to overlook my role in that whole mess. And that was before I even met you and started to develop. Andrea cut him off with a wave of her hand. Life's messy, Liam. Always is. But even that day in the ER with your son, at your lowest, I could see it. She loves you. He shrugged, unsure if love would be enough. She's worth fighting for, too. Andrea touched the back of his hand, their eyes locking for a moment before she pulled away. My advice? Put in the work. Stay present and aware. Don't let her slip away again. Now, as Liam takes Celeste in his arms, he can't shake the nagging doubt. He's thankful for his second chance, to make things right with their story, and, more importantly, to be there for his kids. But beneath the gratitude, the sting of Celeste's betrayal lingers, entwined with the feelings for Andrea that won't let go. He'll stay. He owes his family that much. But as Celeste's breath warms his cheek, Liam realizes the real struggle isn't just rebuilding trust. It's also convincing himself it will be enough. The end. Boo! Tomatoes, tomatoes. I don't like the end. I didn't like that. Nope. Nope. Didn't like that. Boo. Tomatoes. Toast was wrong again. I suppose I was, bull. I'm like rubbing my eyes. Sorry, it's making my model be weird. Yep. I didn't like this. It wrapped up way too quickly. Boo. Tomatoes, tomatoes. It was like, cool. We found out Sam's the killer. And whoosh. Gone. All gone. Daniel Kalla, this was a great book. You had me, but this is not the ending that I liked, where Liam stays with Celeste. Boo! Yeah, he should have left Celeste. He should have left Celeste. First of all, Celeste is trying to rebuild this marriage on false pretenses. She believes Liam is all in, but he's like, oh, I'm actually not. I'm still really into Andrea. Teehee. Like, boo. Tomatoes. All this buildup for Andrea and Liam, and they don't even kiss? Boo! Tomatoes! I don't like it. No! Not happy with this ending. Not happy. Not Slytherin. I can't believe this. He should have been left. Also, it really was just the work of Sam, partially Benjamin, and some AI. Like, I wanted this to be a delicious moment. But I will give it to you, Daniel. It took me a while to figure out where this was going, so you done did good. The pudding of the wedding ring melting on the front, very good mislead. Because I totally was like, yep, no, it's Celeste for sure. But it turns out Sam the whole time. So, okay, I'll give it to you. But I still wish it wasn't even partially Ben. I know, right? It really was just all Sam. Ugh. And then her being like, oh, I'm on the way. Tee-hee-hee. I think I'm gonna date somebody else. Ha 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 ha. La 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 la. Like, boo, tomatoes. Why are you dating? So the real answer was Sam and AI. But we'll just say mostly Sam. So Billy, $2 toasty dollars to you, and Bull, $2 toasty dollars to you. Because Billy said AI and Bull said Sam. Period. So. Oh wait, Billy, what did you write? Did you just say AI or did you say AI and something else? Sorry, I just bumped my thing. You said AI and Celeste. I guess everybody gets partial credit. Technically, I get like 50 toasty cents because I put Celeste and Sam and Ben. Did we not see that coming? I didn't. I really thought Celeste was it. Why all the buildup on the dang smoothies? No need to look back at what I said. It's too late. I already did. Okay, my favorite parts of this book were all the parts where they talk about all the IT stuff and the medical stuff. One major point to Daniel Kalla, you can definitely tell he did his research when talking about anything IT and medical related. Like the things that, even the industrial chemical thing, all the things he was saying, they all sounded realistic. I mean, I'm not an expert at the other two fields, but I'm really not an expert at IT, but you can tell he wasn't just making this stuff up, you know? So you did start doubting it was Celeste when the kid got sick. I don't know. I think it was just a misstep. That's what I was thinking. I just felt like, though, the end was too, what do you call it? It was just too wrapped up. It wrapped up like it went from pedal to the metal to all of a sudden it's, you know, kind of slowed down so they could conclude this story. That part I was kind of like, I really needed a little more, you know? I really needed a little more. Yeah, I wanted more of a closer. Sorry, my stomach is growling if you guys can hear it. I wanted more of a closer. I wanted, like, just more. And I wanted the real happy ending of them ending up together. This whole, like, oh, we're just gonna stay together and just keep trying. Boo, 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 tomatoes. He is so checked out of that marriage. What are we doing? I don't like it. I don't like it. I wanted to see if he would stay with Andrea, like if they would have some big confession. I also did want to blame Celeste. You're absolutely right. I'm upset that I was wrong. What would I give this book on a scale of 1 to 5? A 3.5. 3.5. Because the ending, I needed a little more. I just felt like it was really quick to tie it up, right? Because it was reaching 60 chapters. And out of 5, a 3.5 out of 5. And I wanted him and Andrea to end up together. Too much build up for it to not be, you know, done. For them to not get together. I don't know. The chapters were a little short too, but I guess it worked out. Let me get this. Let me switch screens. Well, there you have it, guys. Another book finished. Can you believe it? You don't take cheaters back. I know, that's right. Tello, clock it. Another book finished with you guys. Now the real question. Yeah, toast on top. How many books have we finished on this stream? It feels like we've finished quite a few now. The real question though, should I pick up another thriller or a romance book? Tell me, guys. I don't think I could get into reading fantasy, but if people really wanted fantasy, I could do that. Why not both? You want me to find a thriller romance? I could do that. I could find one. Would that be okay with the team? Does the team want to hear me read something like that? We already know you want another romance. I do, but like I'm happy to do everything, you know? I want you to spend the whole time guessing again. Okay, perhaps I will find a thriller romance. That would be good, right? To have one. I'll look it up. Chase is on the case. Was it cool having a book that was more based off of a man's world as opposed to a lady? Was that nice for you guys? Oh, let me turn some music on. I just realized I'm not talking with any. I enjoyed this very much. 3.5 out of 5. I don't know how many sessions I've had or how many streams this took to finish, but it was good. Let's see. What other announcements do I have for you guys? Like I have anything. That feels like a while. So as of this moment, I don't have work tomorrow. The gender of the PAV doesn't really matter to me. Okay, cool. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. I wanted to know if that maybe made it better or worse or was cool. Because so far I've read a bunch of like, you know, lady-based things. So that's neat. Thank you for the feedback. I'm checking my emails right now. Yeah, right now there's like nothing saying that I have work tomorrow. So I guess I will just take my first day of PTO. Boo, tomatoes, tomatoes. Everybody hope that my work gets their crap together so I can just go back to work instead of, you know, doing this. A thriller romance sounds good to you? Awesome. You just requested not someone struggling with immortality by combating a deadly disease. Got it. I can do that too. No problemo. I guess I'll spend my time when I'm not at work just researching and I don't know. This sucks. I don't be surprised if you guys see some surprise streams for me. That was a little rough for me at the start. Got it. Sending good vibes on the work thing. I'm sorry that happened to you. Thank you, Rusty. I appreciate you. Read the Splatoon manga. Oh my gosh. It was a little interesting to read about that in the beginning. I feel like that's something that a lot of people wonder, like, oh, would I do that if I could? But we won't talk about that. My stomach is growling and I'm sorry if you guys hear it. When a little less made. That is honestly a sensitive subject for me, TBH. When I pick out these books, I don't really research what's in them. I picked this up based off of the cover of it, and then I read like a little bit of the description. Like, this one said something like, what do you call it? Like on the very front, I read a relentless thriller that uncovers the unsettling ways AI invades us. And I was like, oh, that's great. Something about AI. And then I turned it to the back and it mentions more. Like I don't actually read the description unless it doesn't feel like it's like I'll read like the very, I don't know, first line of it or so. Like this one mentioned it was about a man. And that's really all I looked at. But I don't ever actually read the books. So I apologize for having that in there. If you ever feel like you need to step out, I totally understand. Well, yeah, I read that it was about a man, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I always read things about ladies, so let's put something in here about a man. And that is the tea. But, oh, the next one I'll make sure it's a psychological romance that doesn't have any life-threatening, debilitating diseases in it. Hopefully. I don't know how I can clear that, but I will do my best, guys. But I will make note of it. Nothing about that. Hopefully it won't mention anything medical. It's cool. I got over it. Just had some wild thoughts laying in bed alone. Well, no, you guys' feedback is important to me, so I just have to make sure I make note of it. Which I am. I'm actively typing it in my phone right now as we speak. Okay, don't be surprised. Don't hold me to it, but I wouldn't be surprised if I end up throwing in an extra stream this week while I am sitting at home. What about something set in the 1800s or older setting? I will see what we come up with. I know the last letter from your lover was old. The stationery shop was old, and Bridgerton's usually old. Cowboy stuff. I don't think they were 1800s old though, or maybe the stationery shop was, but I don't think nothing 1800s. These are all like the 1900s. I'm tripping. I don't know why I said that. I'll see if I can't find anything in the romantic thriller variety that is set in that. Cowboy stuff would be cool. Okay, I'm on it. Just play Fire Emblem. This week I will for sure be playing a Hearthstone stream since they have reset the season. So maybe sci-fi, romance, true, star-crossed lovers. I like the Bridgerton stuff too. I have one more Bridgerton book to read, so we will do one more book, and then I'll jump back into that last Bridgerton book. Because I do enjoy reading about stuff like that. And the last Bridgerton book is from a boy's perspective, so we'll do like, this was psychological thriller, we'll do thriller romance, and then shift back to romance. And that is our reading strategy. But I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night and a wonderful rest of your week if I don't see you again. But I sure hope I do. If I don't throw in any surprise streams, the next time you guys will see me is Wednesday. Wednesday. And that is the tea. Surprised you've held off for so long. You seem to burn through all the others pretty quick. Yeah, I needed to step away from those. I did enjoy reading all the others, but I was like, man, I gotta step away. It's time to read something different. But I have held off on it. It's just sitting there. It's Gregory's book, and I don't know. I don't really like Gregory's character in the show either. Thank you for the stream. Thank you guys for being here. If you're watching House of the Dragons, I hope it's a good episode. I'm about to start it as soon as I get off of here. So, good night and stay sweet, everyone. Bye, y'all.